Hello everybody and welcome to Monsters of the Battlefield, the land battleships. And first in our lineup is the independent A1E1. It's a rank 1 British heavy tank with a battle rating of 1.3. It was introduced in update 1.63, Desert Hunters. This giant behemoth of a land battleship has 4 7.7mm Vickers machine guns and one 47mm Ordnance QF3 pounder cannon. It has a turret rotation speed of 7.1 degrees a second with a reload rate of 3.5 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 28mm, 13 on the sides and 13 in the rear. Its turret armor for its main turret has 28mm in the front, 28 on the sides and 28 in the rear. Its armor penetration with its only shell choice is 49mm from 10 meters away, 47mm from 100 meters away and 38mm from 500 meters away. It has a massive crew of 8, a massive 31.7 tons, an engine power 370 horsepower, 2,800 revs per minute, and a max speed of 32 kilometers an hour. I know the British love their tea, but this thing even looks like a kettle. And second in our lineup is the Camp Vagen number Vausig. I probably butchered that name, but anyway, it's a rank 1 German heavy tank with a battle rating of 1.3. It was introduced in update 1.51, Cold Steel. This multi-turreted experiment has 3 7.92mm MG13 Dracer machine guns, one 75mm KWK-37 cannon side by side with a 37mm KWK-36 cannon. It has a turret rotation of 14.1 degrees a second with a reload rate of 3.5 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 20mm, 13 on the sides and 13 in the rear. Its turret armor is 15mm in the front, 13 on the sides, 13 in the rear. Its armor penetration with the main gun is 52mm from 10 meters away, 50mm from 100 meters away, 45mm from 500 meters away with the standard round. It has access to a high explosive anti-tank shell that has 80mm of penetration from 10 meters away at 0 degrees angle from any range, 69mm of penetration at 30 degrees angle from any range, and 40mm of penetration at 60 degree angles from any range. It also has access for a high explosive round and smoke shells. With a 37mm gun, it has a penetration of 86mm from 10 meters away, 77mm from 100 meters away, and 47mm from 500 meters away. With the armor-piercing composite rigid shell, it has a crew of 6, a massive 23.4 tons, an engine power of 290 horsepower, 1,400 revs per minute, and a max speed of 30 kilometers an hour. It's not the most survivable of vehicles or the most invisible, but it certainly puts the fear in your enemies. Ah yes, here it is, on third on our list. It's the monster, it's the behemoth, it's the T-35. It's a rank 1 Soviet heavy tank with a battle rating of 1.3. It was introduced to Warthunder in update 1.43 and comes with a massive array of guns. It has 5 7.62mm DT machine guns, one 76mm KT-28 cannon, and two 45mm 20K cannons. Has a turret rotation speed of 21.1 degrees a second with a reload rate of 4.2 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 30mm, 23 on the side, 20 in the rear. Its turret armor on the main turret is 20mm in the front, 20 on the sides and 21 in the rear. Its armor penetration with the main gun is 18mm from 10 meters away, 17 from 100 and 15mm from 500 meters away with the standard crappy round, which just happens to be a shrapnel shell. But you also have a choice of a high explosive round and an armor-piercing high explosive with ballistic cap shell. In the 45mm guns, you have a choice of 2 rounds, an armor-piercing ballistic cap shell with a penetration value of 73mm from 10 meters away, 70mm from 100 meters away, and 60mm from 500 meters away. Has a crew of 10, a massive amount of individuals, a massive 52 tons, an engine power 500 horsepower at 1,500 revs per minute, and a max speed of 28 kilometers an hour, making it deadly Russian specimen. It really is really long, isn't it? And here we have the Char 2C. It's a rank 2 French heavy tank with a battle rating of 2.3. This super heavy monstrosity was introduced in update Sky Guardians, and it has actually 4 8mm Hotchkiss MLE 19-4 machine guns, but only 2 of them work, and 1 terrible 75mm APX Canon de 75mm Model 1897 cannon. That's a hell of a mouthful. It has a turret rotation speed of 6 degrees a second with a reload rate of 6.6 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 45mm, 22 on the sides, 22 in the rear. Its turret armor is 35mm in the front, 35 on the sides, 35 in the rear. Its armor penetration with the standard round is 55mm from 10 meters away, 54 from 100, and 49 from 500 meters away, which is practically nothing at 2.3. Has a crew of 12. But I actually have pictures that prove it has 13. A mass of 70 tons, an engine power of 442 horsepower at 1900 revs per minute, and a max speed of 15 kilometers an hour. Because it's so slow and sits at battle rating 2.3, it's almost incredibly useless. But damn does it feel good shooting at it. Ah yes, and now we get to number 5 on the list. The Devastator of Worlds! The Destroyer of Tanks! The Char 2C BIS. It's a rank 1 super heavy French tank with a battle rating of 1.7, and it was introduced in update Apex Predators. This destroyer of tanks has 2 8mm Hotchkiss MLE 1914 machine guns and 1 devastating 155mm Schneider 155C howitzer. It has a turret rotation speed of 9.4 degrees a second with a reload rate of 18.3 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 45mm, 22 on the side, 22 in the rear. Its turret armor is 35mm in the front, 35 on the side, 35 in the rear. Its armor penetration is who cares, because at this battle rating you can pop God. But its armor penetration is 58mm from 10 meters away, 58 from 100, and 58 from 500 meters away. 58 from anywhere, actually. Has a crew of 12, a mass of 70 tons, an engine power of 500 horsepower at 1900 revs per minute, and a max speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Unlike its counterpart, it doesn't suffer from penetration difficulty. It might be short, but it's very thick. Ah yes, and here we are with number 6 on the list, the SMK. It's a premium rank 2 Soviet heavy tank with a battle rating of 3.7. It was introduced in update 1.45 Steel Generals. This Soviet terror has 1 12.7mm DK machine gun and 1 7.62mm DT machine gun. It has 1 76mm L11 cannon and 1 45mm 20K cannon. Its turret rotation speed with the main turret is 15 degrees a second with a reload rate of 6.2 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 75mm, 60 on the sides, 55 in the rear. Its turret armor is 60 in the front, 60 on the sides, 60 in the rear. Its armor penetration with the standard round in the main turret with the main gun is 78mm from 10 meters away, 76 from 100 meters away, and 70mm from 500 meters away. It has a massive crew of 7, a mass of 55 tons, an engine power of 850 horsepower at 1,850 revs per minute, and a max speed of 35 kilometers an hour. It's actually a lot faster than it looks, making it an excellent, deadly Soviet specimen. Ah yes, and an honorable mention in the Japanese tech tree, the Kachi. It's a rank 1 amphibious tank that I like to call my cucumber of death because of the camo I use. Has a battle rating of 2.0. Was introduced during update Red Skies as a reward for the 2021 summer landing event. This vehicle has 1 7.7mm Type 97 machine gun that can only be fired with the pontoons removed, and 1 47mm Type 1 cannon. Has a turret rotation speed of 10.8 degrees a second and a reload rate of 3.9 seconds. Its hull armor in the front is 50mm, 10 on the side, 20 in the rear. Its turret armor is 50mm in the front, 25 on the side, 25 in the rear. Its armor penetration with the standard round is 77 millimeters from 10 meters away, 75 from 100 meters away, and 67 from 500 meters away. It has a crew of 7, a mass of 26.5 tons, an engine power of 240 horsepower, 2,000 revs per minute, and a max speed of 35 kilometers an hour, being the only one that looks like a true land battleship.